Hello lovely people, Lacey here and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited for today because I get to share with you guys some main tips on how to start keto. Now the reason why I wanted to create this video was because when I started out there was a lot of questions on what is right, what's wrong, how do I start, what works for me, and so I wanted to give my experience to help those who are thinking of actually wanting to start this diet. So I have 4 tips for you. So after this video, hopefully you'll be able to have an easier transition into a ketogenic diet. So the first tip I have for you, number 1, is do some research. And this is something that would have really helped me more. I did a little bit, but I could have done a lot more. But it can be overwhelming because there's a lot of information out there. I realize there's a lot of people saying different things about, how much fat you should eat. Is it 75%? Is it 80? Like how many carbs? Like net carbs or total carbs? Like there's just a lot of noise out there. Do you eat vegetables? Do you not eat vegetables? Like, what do you do? And so for me, what's really important with doing the research is having someone who's reliable and they have credibility. So for me, like I stated in the last video I uploaded, which I'll put a card up there if you have not checked it out, so go check it out. But I was following this doctor, and through him I stumbled on this diet, and I already knew that I could trust him because I had been following him in the past. And so I had already, had this relationship, and he had credibility, and I know what he's done, I know his background, I know I can trust him. And then from him, he might refer someone else, and just really seeing the people out there and knowing if they're living out what they're saying and all those things, it's really important. So doing research, finding some people that also not only just credibility, but they relate to you. Maybe they have the same lifestyle that you're living right now. They have maybe the same goal that you have, that you're wanting. You just maybe even just like to hear them talk, whatever it is, but it's such a wonderful community, and help finding someone who's walking this journey already, who's similar to you, can really benefit you, and they've already gone through some things that maybe you can learn from. And that's also another reason why I wanted to, capture my journey and what this process was like for me. So do some research. Number 2 is start emptying out that fridge. And it can take some time. I'm not saying, go do it today, but it's really important to start getting rid of all those temptations that you have around your house. Because when you start something new, it takes a while to break off those cravings, to break off those old habits. At least they say, 30 days? And so for you, when you are in those moments of a weekend and all you want is just a nice spoonful of peanut butter on some ice cream and just whatever your craving is, that you have something, that you don't have that in the fridge tempting you, that you are able to be because it's not there, it's not looking at you, it's not taunting you. And I know this can be hard for those who don't live alone or have a family, because maybe the people you live with aren't on this diet with you, and your family, you can't, maybe you have kids and you have to cook a separate meal for you and them. And so I understand that. I know it's not possible for everyone to really get rid of all temptations. But one thing I would highly recommend to anyone out there is getting rid of 2 evil things in your fridge and in your pantry, which is processed food and sugars. These things, no matter what diet you're on, whether you're a vegan, vegetarian, paleo, pescatarian, whatever it is, processed food, sugars, they're not good. So making sure you can clear those out, clean the house from those, will really benefit you. And within the transition, it'll make it a lot easier, because if you, take this next month or even the next 2 months to to start taking those things out, to not, have rice or bread or whatever, then when you actually fully start transitioning into keto, those cravings won't be as strong. And that's something that really, really benefited me, was coming on to keto. I hadn't been eating sugar. I hadn't really been eating carbs or anything like that. So the transition was a lot smoother. So if you're able to get rid of those temptations that are in the fridge and that are in the pantry that are going to try to get you when you're in a weak moment. Number 3 is being prepared. Like having snacks, having meals, whatever it is, being prepared. So before I talked about those temptations that are lurking in the fridge and the pantry, but even when those are, out of sight, they can be out of mind. But sometimes, like for me, I love peanut butter and I love dark chocolate. And so once a month or a couple times a month, this craving for that will just kick in, and I'll just like, oh, I need something. And so for me, I'm prepared though. I have found something that satisfies that craving but is keto friendly. So for me, I make my own chocolate with peanut butter in it, so it's like my own Reese's, and I store them in the freezer. And so whenever I have that feeling or whenever I have that craving, or honestly, like I just eat one once a day because it really ups my fat intake, which I need. And I'm prepared. I'm ready when that time comes. Like I know my weaknesses, so I know it's going to be a stumbling block for me. So I come prepared. Or if it's just, you're at work or something like that, and it's lunch hour and you didn't bring anything, and there's all that food right in front of you and it looks so good, and all they have is like something tiny that you could eat, but you're gonna be still so hungry. Like, make sure you bring a snack or something with you to work, because you don't know what is available for you. Or just making sure maybe you eat a little bit before going out to eat with some friends, because you don't know what's available at that, what's going to be available for you. Just making sure you're prepared and you know your weaknesses, you know your cravings, so you can jump on them. Now my last tip, and I think this is the most important one out of all of them, is taking it slow. Do not compare yourself to anyone else and their journey and their experience and their results and what's happening to their body. This is your journey. This is for you. And really realizing that everybody has a different way of doing things. Everybody has a different life, different stress that's in their life. So what they're able to do now is possible, but it's not really possible for you. And that's fine. Just do it in your own way and with your own pace. And please, biggest thing is don't compare yourself, because each body responds differently. And so if you're not getting the same results, you might have to tweak something. You might have to shuffle something up in your diet to make it suit you better. And that's great and that's fine, because you are so unique. Everyone is so individual, so unique. And that's the beauty of mankind, and the beauty of how we're created is that we're all so different. And so embrace that, love it, celebrate your uniqueness and your differences within even your body and what your body does. And you get to go on this journey of figuring out and listening to your body. Listen to what your body says. Listen to how you feel in the morning after, you've eaten maybe more protein than you did, a week before and stuff like that. Start to listen to what your body's trying to tell you. And it's a fun journey. I have absolutely loved figuring out how unique my body is and how I respond to people totally differently who are doing the keto diet too. So take it slow. Don't compare, embrace your uniqueness and celebrate it. So those are my 4 tips. I hope they were beneficial to you guys. My heart is just to share my experience and hopefully help other people along this journey. So comment below if you have any tips for other people. Let's build this community of just helping one another, sharing what we've learned, sharing what worked but also what didn't work, so we can help people, help learn from one another. So I would love it. Comment below. Also subscribe, give me a thumbs up, let me know what else you guys would like to talk about. I will catch you guys next Tuesday.